This is a step-by-step guide on how to stream using OBS Studio. So if you want to stream your church service or any event, you want to stream it to Facebook or YouTube or any other platform, this will be a complete guide on how to do that. And then you don't need any prior knowledge before you can follow the video. So basically all you will be needing for this video will be your laptop computer. There are two ways to install OBS. You can go through if you're using Windows, go to your Microsoft Store and then search for OBS Studio. You would see it, click on it, and of course install it. But generally, you would want to go to I already have it installed anyway. You would want to go to your Chrome or whichever browser you use and search for OBS Studios and then click on, the first link, usually obsproject.com. And then there you select the version of the PC you are using. If you're using a Windows PC, you do that. If you're using a Mac OS, you do that. Linux distribution, you select that as well. But since this is Windows, I'll click on Windows and then follow the steps to download. It's already downloading. Now I'm just gonna stop the install. I already have it downloaded and installed. But nevertheless, once it's done downloading, we would simply see the installer, the executable file, the exe, and then double click on it. I'll just test and count CDs anyways. So you say yes and then follow the process to install it completely. But I'm just gonna cancel this. Said OBS today is already running. Please close before installing the newer version. So I'm just gonna close all this and then let's get to the app already. So for this is the mixer I'm using, this particular Yamaha. Now, there are two ways I do this. This is the wire I use for this that has this, and then the other end of it has this USB that goes to the PC. So let me just plug it to another USB spot. And then this other end goes to the back. Sorry, I did. So now that I've plugged this, if we check on my PC, let's go back to my screen here. If I now go to source and click on source, it will check audio. Meanwhile, your computer should have detected it. Then you go to audio input. So let me check for audio input capture and select it. Could just call it any name. Let me just call it mixer audio. And then selecting on default, you will see, okay, it's not showing yet. I have to plug it out and plug it in again. And then let's check it again. I'll double click on it this time around and click here. So if it doesn't still show, you could close it and open it. Okay, so I actually changed the ports, and as you can see here, I now have the option microphone for USB audio device. So this is it. So whatever audio that is coming from my console can now enter here. Currently there is no audio from my console. That's why it's all right here. So I've got a microphone, and let me just say something with the mic. So as you can see, the signal, it's kind of moving up and down as I talk. So it's coming from the mic. Let me switch the mic off and talk. So as you can see, the signal has disappeared. So whatever noise happening around the church or the event will not enter. And this is one way. Another way to do that would be still leaving this one. I'll pick the second way. I would use this. Now this is a mini sound card. You can actually get it from Amazon or anywhere. I got it from my local store. Now, this mini sound card, there are actually different sound cards you can use, but this one kind of works well. But although it generates this little noise, but I always have my way of cleaning the noise, which I can also show you. Now, for this, I will simply plug it as USB as well. Now, this has to work with a wire like this. This regular, I think, I can't remember the name of this wire. Maybe I'll just put it in the screen. But anyway, once we get this, I'll check on your mixer, which practically every mixer has this. you will see the record. So you check for record out, block this here and the second one there. Once you've blocked that, you now take this part and come to this particular sound card. You will see the part. This part is for earphone, for out, music out, or sound out. This for sound in. So I'm going to plug it here. Now that I've plugged it here, I can now plug it into my this and then let my PC detect it. Now after I've plugged that, let me just add another audio source here. And then let's do that. I put audio capture device. Let me just call it mixer 2. Instead of default, you would notice something. This one has the name USB PNP sound device. So the one that came directly from our this is USB and microphone for USB. So this one is microphone USB PM. So depending on the name of the brand or whatever. So I'll simply select this now and then press OK. So here, after I'm done adding my audio from the mixer and everything, I can now go ahead and add the videos and every other thing. Personally, I love to make sure that my audio is sorted out first before any other thing. This is also capturing the audio I'm talking with, so I'm just gonna turn it down. And I've actually disconnected these two audios. I mean, it's a little bit distance from where my mixer console is. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add video. We'll be using our phone as our camera. Now, if you have a digital camera, you could use that. I would use a HDMI cable with a HDMI mini to run the connection. I'll pin a video here on how you can do that. Then, if not, we can continue using our phone. Now, to explain this area, there is scene here which can rename this. Let me rename this to, can use F2 to rename. Let me just rename it to mainstream. Okay, I can also create another stream here. I will simply come down here and click, and I can call it, let me just call it Tactions. I'll explain these things later why I'm calling it Action. You can actually choose any name you want. Could call this one topic. And then now what I want you to notice here is that everything under source stays inside the stream. So if I go rather stays inside the scene. So everything on that source is inside the stream. For instance, if I select on actions, you notice it's completely empty. If I select topic, it's completely empty. If I was, for instance, to add an image, I'll still remove it immediately, but we check my downloads and pick any random image, for example. Let me put this image, for example. And then once I add this image, this is on that topic. If I go to actions, you're not gonna see it. If I go to stream, you're not gonna see it. So just to explain to you that this stays here, I will delete this. Let me remove it. Okay, so let's go back to the main stream. Now this is where we have our whole streaming materials, our logo, which we're gonna keep somewhere here. The scroll bar, yeah, the scroll text that will be scrolling, and then possibly the name of the preacher or whatever activity that is going on. But before I continue, I want to change this to studio mode. So I'll come here and click on studio mode so that I can see whatever I want to see before I transition here. Now I want to remove this fade to black. I mean, what it usually does is, let me just pick add an image. For instance, I'll pick an image. I'm still going to remove this, but just to test this out, let me use this black one. Now, this is here. Let me just make it big. So this that is here, if I slide here, you notice it comes the other side. Let me turn it off. I'll remove it. So let me turn it back on. So if I use cut, it's just kind of cut in. If I use fade, it kind of fades. This one will be me manually fading it. But if I use this fade to black, it kind of clears everything there. I personally don't use it always, so I can just remove it. I think I'll come here. That should be here. So to remove it, once I click here, you would see remove. Just click on remove. I don't need it for now. And you can always add it back if you want. Fade to black, it will come back, but kind of makes me make mistakes sometimes. These two are okay. I work with them almost. All right, so that is it for there. Now, another thing I want to remove here will be this. I don't want to see this here. It kind of doesn't really serve any good purpose for me. So what I'll do will be to come to docs, and then select on select source. Did I just unselect source? Sorry, I was supposed to, let me put it back. I was supposed to unselect scene transition. So it's kind of out. And then let me just make little adjustments. Practically don't have anything to do with here anymore. And this also, it's not really large. These are the two I focus on, especially this one. Okay, I think it's looking better for me, but you can always work the way around it. Now, to have a quick view of how the interface is, it's not that complex. I believe you already covered the scene, although not in depth. Then here you have files. There is really not much you could do here unless you want to go to settings, which we can also access from here. I'll just cancel that. So next thing here is edit, which no much thing there. Can always do with I right click it. For instance, right clicking, I have some of the options there, like this image. I have some of these transform option that we are seeing under edit and all that. Next one will be view, which you could actually use it to remove some icons you don't want to see, but the default is always good to work with. Next thing, dock, which we even went through before, can remove some things you don't want to see on the screen. The audio mixer, you can decide to remove it, but I recommend you don't do that because you need to keep track of your audio. So that is it. Next one will be profile, and then let's just leave the scene collection. Let's leave this for now. We'll still cover it before the end of the video. Next one is tools and then help. Now, I haven't seen all these parts. The major areas we will be working with will be the scene and the source. So that's why I'm focusing on all this area. Just these two cycles. The next part you will see here will be start streaming. Of course, when you're done with your whole settings, you click to start streaming. But you need to do some settings before 10 anyways. Or you can start recording. You can also do screen record with this. I usually use it for screen record, but because it's a tutorial on it, I had to use another screen recorder. You can do the start virtual camera, which I practically don't use at all. And the next one will be settings. That's where we usually go to fix this. Okay, so let the settings open. Here on the settings, we have the first place general, of which you select the language of your choice, and I pretty much leave all these things the way it is. For me, everything here seems to be okay. Then again, this video is for streaming, not for any other use of OBS. I mean, gamers have their own settings. I mean, gamers that stream have their own settings, and then different people have the settings. Most times I use it for screen recording, so I have my settings. Next one will be appearance, which I kind of love this default. You can actually change it if you don't want it. You can change the style to whatever you want, but I'm kind of okay with the default. I love the Yummy theme. You can also download more themes to use. Now let's go to the most important part here. That will be the stream and the output. Okay, so for the stream, I want us to stream on Facebook, and then we'll now copy the same stream to YouTube just for this tutorial. So for that, I will select Facebook, and then does not support your current resolution. Yes, I want to continue, and then we leave it at default. Put your stream key. But before we continue there to put stream key, I'll show you how we get stream key. Before we do all that, let's go to output, and then we do some very important settings here. This is on simple first. Use this. I will use software. Now, if you have an external a GPU, hope that's what it's called. Yep, an external drive. What am I saying? If you have an external hardware encoder that you could use, graphics card rather, you will see the option here, either NVIDIA or whatever. But if you're not using it, I recommend you leave it on software. that will do much better. Now the encoder presets, I love putting it on this very fast or super fast, or you can even use ultra fast. The only thing there is that it will reduce the quality because of the CPU you are using. So if you have a very high efficient PC, you can do that. For this video, I'm using this EliteBook 8470p, 8470p, which is kind of a standard business class laptop, not for performing heavy duties. So you can always alter this according to whatever you're using. And for the audio encoder, just leave it the way it is. And then this is for the recording. So if you're recording, you just set it wherever you want it to be saved and all that. But I want to go to advanced. So you come back here to output mode and select advanced. For the advanced, you have streaming, recording, and this. So let's just focus on the streaming and then the audio encoder. That is it, the video encoder. You could use quick sync. If it doesn't work very well for you, go back to S264. And then for this rescale, I'll leave it here. And then this is okay. Now for the encoder, it depends. Sometimes I love using this, a variable bit rate. Sometimes. Now, this is where you need to check your internet speed and your encoder too. If it is lacking, you might want to reduce this, but nothing less than 1500. So I will just use 2000 kilobytes per second. And then the rest are okay. For these, in some cases, I'll just leave it on fast. This is okay by me, and then click on OK. But before let me just click on apply. And for recording, I'm not touching anything since this is just for streaming. Next one will be your audio, and then this bit rate is okay. That I could use stereo here, and then I think there is nothing else that's important here. Okay, so let's bear on now. And then on the video for the canvas and this, you could just leave it. I usually use this. And then for the output scale, take this works very well. And for the frame rate, set it to 60. I mean, that's the standard. And then the rest are just things that are not really necessary for now. But of course, if you're using an external hardware for your graphics card, that's where you should make a lot of changes there. After everything, I'm just going to click OK. And then that would be it. Now, under this mainstream, I want to put some certain things here, like the video, which I'm going to put the video. But for now, I want to use a screen recording to dictate the video. I want to use I want to use display capture for that. So let me just call it main camera. I will delete it later. Later on, we will use our phone as camera, but I want that to be the last thing I'll do. And then capture mode. I want to capture my window. And then that's okay. Otherwise, this is not capturing. Or let me just remove this. Let me delete this image too. Let me delete anymore. So let me just put maybe an image can go, or I could use a browser too. Let me use an image here to represent my camera. So let me just call it cam1 because it's not yet camera. And then I'll upload a random image. Let me use this image as my camera. Now, most times, once you import something in, once you bring in any image or video, it stays at this size. You could use Control F to make it full screen. But furthermore, you can still rescale it further. For instance, as you can see, it's not covering the full screen. You can click here and drag it. It has covered. I could drag it up here, and it has covered the full screen. Yep. So I just bring it down. So let me just use it this way. And if I move it this side, it stays there. Okay, so the next thing, we are assuming that this is the video. Like I said, I'm still gonna replace it with actual video, but that will be the last thing I'll do. Now, one thing I want to put will be a scroll text. Text that will be scrolling down like this. So to do that, I would add my first layer. I want to select this color source. So color source. So let me call it scroll bar. Okay, for a good blend to give it. Let me give it scroll bar. And select the color. I would use this color of this. Let me just use this blue. I think it's okay. Then once I select it, I click OK. It covers the whole screen. What I'll do will be to drag it down as low as I can. I think this level is okay. Let me click outside. I think this is okay. And this is it. Now I want to put text on top of it. I want to put a text on top of it. So I'll click here again and add for text. You will use text GB1. GBI rather. Lost. So I'll select it. Let me call it scroll bar text. And then for the font, we'll use any font. Let me use this area black. That goes. And then this is where you put the text you want. I'll write it on a small letter first. This is a live broadcast test of the shell service, and making this video on the tour, if I'm not mistaken, 13th. Okay, 13th March 2025. Okay, so this is the scroll test I want to use, and then I want the color to be white. So once I hit OK, but one more thing, I wanted to change this scroll text, the scroll bar text. I wanted to change the text transform. I want it to start with lowercase, uppercase. So the beginning of each one should start with uppercase. So this is it. I'll just make it smaller by coming to the one edge, drag it. This part could really be stressful, but think I've not seen any faster way of doing this for now. Okay, I think this size is okay, still a little bit big. And yeah, I think I have a typo somewhere in service, but I really don't mind for now. Okay, so this is it, and this is not really that okay by me. I'll select this. I can hold down shift and control, then drag it, kind of moves it as low as possible. It can. I think this is okay. Now, if I select it, still on the scroll text, I'll right click and go to filters. Then under filters, let me just write this smaller. Under filters, you click on this @ sign, this plus sign, and select scroll. So I'll just leave it as scroll. Now I want to scroll it horizontal. This is it. Now if I was to do it vertical, it's really what I have. So I'll just make it horizontal. I think this speed is quite reasonable. But if you notice once in the place it ends, there is no space and it's kind of congeals together. What I'll do would be to double click on it, and I could use space here, maybe one dot or multiple dots. I think this works fine. Now, if I'm to slide this, so this is beginning to take shape. Though this is not properly aligned, but to get a whole point, you can make it yourself. So here we have our camera and we have a scroll text having the name of the church and possibly the day of the service and what the service is all about there, which is okay. All right, so after that, the next important thing would be to add logo, which is actually important. So I'll click here and select image. I'll use image for logo, and I'll just change the name to logo and hit OK and browse. I prefer using transparent images, but anyway, anyone can go, whether transparent or not transparent. Let me just use this as an example. Can reduce the size and to click this here. Love keyboards. Then again, I can hold down shift and control. really move it how slow I want it. So I think here is okay. Although I don't like the way this logo appears, but can always remove the background before you bring it here. So if I move it, this is how it looks like now. I think I move my middle image a little bit. Okay, this is better now. Okay, so this is your logo. The third thing I would want to add here, which I wouldn't be adding a lot of things here, would be, for instance, if the pastor is preaching, the name of the pastor, possibly the topic of the message and things like that. That's one point. Now, another thing I want to add would be things like welcome to service or welcome to streaming. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for watching the video and not watching the video. Now, for the things like thanks for watching the video, welcome to the service, and maybe offering time, testimony time, whatever it is, I want to put all of them inside action so that my mainstream will not be too jam-packed and I would have easy access to them. So that's why I just chose the name action. Now to do that, I want to go to Chrome and look for all these things. Let me just say test the pilot. And just search and then search under images. But you would want to have your own graphic design done yourself, the name of the church or whatever it is. But for now, let's just do this. I will just select this and save it. Another thing I want to look for would be praise, for instance. We just say praise and worship. You can also use video for this, but let's just use image. We'll check that on the testament. I wonder why this is taking a while. This is quite unusual, but let me just use this and see. Anyone that opens, yeah, I think this is working. And I'll right click and save it. Let me just spot them testing or I don't missed it. Think I had a typo there, but that's fine. Then let me see, for instance, Thanksgiving. I'm just trying to think of things I can use. Wonder why this is slow. Okay, I don't know. Let me put something like thanks for joining. What exactly am I typing? Okay, so this is okay. Worship section, praise and worship section. I prefer to use this since it has both praise and worship section. But you can decide to separate your praise and the worship section. Doesn't really matter. So for this, I'll right click and save it. Call it praise worship. And that is okay. So thanks for joining is okay. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us is okay. And this will be the last one I'll do. I mean, you get the whole idea anyway. Call it thanks for joining me. Now I'll come back to my OBS and start importing them into my action. Remember, you can also do this here, but I think this is a better way of doing this. So I'll click here and I'll select image. So I have thanks for joining me. It's important to get the name so that you don't confuse it. I will now click on browse under my download. So this is thanks for joining, and this is it. Okay, this is too small. I could do Control F. It's big. I think the quality is bad, but you can always make sure you get the good quality for your video. Okay, so this is it here. Alright, I'll add the next one. I think that should be testimony. No mistake here. Testimony. Don't mind my typo. I'm just trying to be as fast as I can. Trying to save you a lot of time from while watching the video. So this is testimony. I'll Control F to make it full screen, the full size of the image. I could drag the wrong word. Testimony. Yeah, I can drag it now. Love it to cover everywhere. Okay, next thing I want to choose praise and worship. So I call it Grace Worship. So there is announcement that whatever you feel you want to use, you just use that. And then it should be Praise Worship. And that is it. Then do Ctrl F, and this one face the size automatically. Now, how I bring this inside my source, because the mainstream is where I'll be using most times. So how to bring it inside? I will come on my main stream where I'm streaming and click on the plus icon. And this time around, you're going to see the option scene. So I'll select scene, and then the whole scene will be listed, which is, it's not going to show you this one that is there. It's going to show you the other one, which is action and topic. So I'll select action and then okay. So that is it. So once I slide, it shows it here. Could do it this way. Hold on. But anyway, so if I want to change anything, now this action, if you notice, it covers everything, both the footer and everything. So I will just drag it down, press and hold right, left click, and then drag it down. I want to make sure it is just under, above my camera, above the camera, so that it covers the camera, leaving the logo, and make sure the logo is on top of. Just could take a screenshot of this arrangement and work with it, so that it kind of retains it. Now, if I want to change, if I don't want it to show, I can just click on it to go. Then I'll click on live, it will disappear. Once I click, it shows here. I believe this once I turn it on, I could use this and slide it. Or it will cut, however it is. So if I don't want it to show, I'll just turn it off. Right, if you notice, it's just one testimony that is showing. If I want others to show, I'll have to come to this. But take note, before you come to make any changes, just make sure it is turned off. Because if it is on, it will be showing live as you're doing it. Let me show you what I mean. So once it is turned off, I will come to action, and then whichever one that is on or that is on top is the one that shows mostly. Like, I mean, if I want testimony to show, I'll turn it on, leave this one off. This is not still full stream, but let's leave. So one testimony is on. If I come back to stream and turn it on here. So here is why I said you should turn it off before doing anything. If I come to action and change, for instance, praise, as you can see, it has already gone live. So whatever I'm doing affects it. So that's why it's best to turn it off first. So I'll just leave this praise or any of them, leave. Thanks for watching. For this, back to our mainstream, and I can't turn this off now. So that is how we deal with this here. We turn this off. So that's how you add any different distance. Now the next thing I want to do would be like the topic on which the preacher is preaching on. Now to do that, you can actually have box designed by yourself. Maybe you want to use a specific design of video which we are not going to get into here. Or you could just go online and download, frames to use. For instance, if I go back and check, let me search, for instance, friend PNG. I think that should be the right name to use. I'm trying to remember the right name to use for it. Or let me say frame bar PNG. I'm choosing PNG because I want the background to be transparent. Okay, yeah, this is one of it. So I could use either of these. Let me select this for example. And I'll go ahead and download this from the website. Let me still be working on another one. I think this one can go to. Just see how the two goes and see the one that works well for us. For some reasons, I don't know why my internet is not okay. It's usually fast. So here a number of frames, and these ones are free. I can download them since they are free. I'll click on this and download it. I'll click on this also. Okay, download this. So I just download a PNG. Just make sure you're downloading PNG so that the background can be transparent. While we get the image, if I want to put it on that topic, okay, I want to put it on that topic, or let me put it on a different place and call it ministers. Here and typo ministers. Okay, all right, this is okay. So here inside ministers, I'll click on plus and then let me give it the background first. So I want to give it a background. Now I want to make this a little bit easier for myself. I want to mainstream and then add a scene, which will be ministers. I said that ministers is still empty for now. And yeah, ministers can stay on top. I'll turn it on so that it stays live so that I can really see what I'm doing this side. I'll come back there and then add a color source. I may call it ministering bar. I mean, just look for a name that fits here. I want to pick color white. Try not to have multiple colors here. I want to use white and black, so let me use white first. And then this is okay. So I'll drag it down. And I want to do something. I made a mistake. Let me come back here and make sure that this is just here under the scroll bar. To it. I want the scroll bar to cover it, and I can come back and do whatever I'll do. Oh, something is wrong. Okay, yeah, it's okay now. So I'll move this way on the here. Tape is put here. So I'll put another color. Let me just quickly correct this. This is not really okay. The scroll text. This is the scroll text. I'll do shift and control and drag it down a bit. I think it's better now. Yeah, it's better. So back on the ministers, I'll put another bar, and this time around I'll call it mini stream bar. I don't think can give it any name you want. I thought the other one is mini stream bar. Okay, I wanted to call it mini stars bar. Can't use two names for one. So I'll change the color to black. And then there it is. I'll drag it this way. Just remember to cover here. Which I think it's okay. Alright, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's okay. But I want to do another thing here. I want to add another bar here. Just to add a little bit design, but this is completely not necessary. I'll just duplicate it. I'll right click and should have to pick it somewhere. It should be copy and then paste duplicate. Yeah, that's how you duplicate. So I'll call this I want to rename this. Hold on, I want to rename this to that's well, I'm just figuring out names. Let me show you what I want to do with this. I want it to have a different color. This color new color I'm using down. I believe it's the same color there. Okay, so here is it. And then I'll drag it down under this. It should be in between this and that. So for it, I'm going to drag it a little bit this side. Okay, let me copy it. No one to show a lot. This is one of the most difficult things for me to do. Okay, I think this is okay, and it works for me, but it might not be necessary for you. So the next thing I'll do will be to put two texts, the name of the minister and the name and ministry. So I would use text here. So let me call this minister name, and let me say Pastor Joe Smith. Or am I right? Okay, Pastor John Smith. It's cool. Forgot to change the font. But anyways, good that. Now this is white. It's not gonna be visible, so I have to change the color. I did back on the minister lens, and then this time change the font as well. And then something like this, Google, and then the color. You have to go to no background color. You have to check. Now text transformation. I want it to be uppercase. So let it be capitalized, and then for color, I'll come here and we'll change it to black. And I'll think with text. This font, I want it to be bold. Let's see how it looks. It doesn't really look good, but I don't like these fonts. I have to change it. But anyway, you can actually play around this. Let me just use this so that I don't while away our time here. I'll use area black. Which is actually not bad. So I can reduce the size of it. It's going to be big. And then drag it here. So we have enough space for however big the name of the minister, however long the name of the minister is. Okay, so here I'll put another text and then I'll call it ministry. And then repeat the same text again, ministry or teaching, depending on whichever one. I want it to be capital letter too, so I make it uppercase. And then the text should be white. Yeah, it's okay by you. It says I want to place it on black. And then just adjust the size. So, like I said, they can go ahead and play around this and that is it. So, okay, once I come back to mainstream, it's already showing. So, whenever the minister comes up, you can always activate the mainstream bar, turn it on, off. Okay, so that is it for ministering and the bar. I think we've been able to cover this and that. Let me just leave it here anyway. The ministers, yeah? You can always change to them. So whenever maybe a different minister is there, you just come to ministering and check the minister's name. Double click and change the name. Let me double click. And then here is the name. Just change it quickly. Okay. Don't know, for some reason my ECT is trying slow down. So you can change the name to, let's say, Pastor Mrs. Wherever you write, it comes out in capital. So Mrs. Sarah Efrain. Whatever name it is. Don't know if I got the name correct, but however it is, that is it here. I have to come back to the mainstream. Here, fade it. So here it is, and that is it here. It's quite okay. Okay, so having settled that, let's go ahead and add one more thing, which would be topic. And then for this topic, I would like it to be maybe above this or the same side. I will just remove this ministry to put it, or maybe just put it alongside. Just think of the one you want. So for me to do that, I would, under that, I will just select again. And now, first of all, add it live so that the editing can be easy for me. Because I select topic, let's try this time to use what we download there. So I'll bring it in as an image. So let me just call it bar or topic bar. Kind of love giving it nets though. So that once you have a lot of things you are dealing with, it doesn't become complex. So this is the bar. I'll select it and okay. And here you are, seasonal affiliates. Thanks for do this, okay? So I can see what I'm doing. Can always resize this. See, prefer hold down shift. I can make it long as I'm holding down shift and dragging it. Can make it as long as you want. So let me move this here. Now this is this way. So if you find this okay this way, you can put it or just put it here. For instance, let me drag this further this way. Take it can go further. You drag it can go further. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just put it on top of this. For me, normally I wouldn't do that, but I'll just put it here and bring it down for it to be smaller. Like it's smaller now. I think this is looking okay. But again, these things are too many, but let's just leave it there. You can always drag it down and change it where you want it to be. And then for the topics, I'm gonna make it a little bit simpler now. So I'll just put two decks, and then the first step will be I don't want to write topic then write it. I just want to write a topic direct. It's a topic text. And let me give you whatever thing I want to call it. I don't know how I got this topic. I was actually looking for a topic that can be long so that in any long, the font, I'll change the font to bold on that area. And it is already a white, so I will change it to black or new. Change it to the color we have on our filter, the scroll. So this is it. We still have to make it smaller. So this is still long. So this is here. I'll just make it bold now. Against lost. So on that transformation, I want to make it uppercase. Okay, so that is it. I think our Lord Jesus Christ, I think this topic is now complete. Okay. But anyway, you get it. You can go ahead and make it smaller. So the smaller it is, the more it can enter. So this is it. So if you want to add topics, you can always click on add text and add the word topic on top. Make it place it here, however you want it. But you get the whole idea. So this is it. And then this doesn't really look good the way I like it, but it's always a good startup. I don't actually streamline like this. Okay, so now we are done with all these. I think this is all we need to put. We don't need to put time or Bible and the rest. We'll do it in another video. But this is just for beginners, for simple streaming. So now that we've done this, we are good to connect our camera. Now to do that, check if I have the app. I use IV Cam. There are different ways you can use to bring in your phone camera to your phone. I personally prefer using the IV Cam. That works very well for me. I think it's not here. So to that, I'll download it very, very quickly. Just go on your browser and search for IV Cam download. And let's download and install that very quickly. So you see, is this E2 easy to what? E2E soft, I think they are the owner. So you just follow up the website and that built. And since I'm using Windows, I'm going to select Windows and I'm just going to use the free version. If you like it, you could go ahead and pay for it. And it's already downloading. Now that it's downloading, you can go to your phone. It's only the free version. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're using Android or iPhone. Like this is on iPhone, just come to your store and search for Ivy Cam. Sorry, Ivy Cam. I already have it installed, but so once you search for it and it's gonna come out, you install it. So this is it. I already have it installed. It asks you for updates. But anyways, yeah, I'll update it later. But here it is. I'll have installed it and ready to use. So once our so let me go ahead and install this on the PC. And once I'm done installing it on the PC, we are ready to go. Just click on yes. English, of course. Class language and speed best. I accept. Next. Next. I want to install it. Stop. Okay. So let's give it a moment for that to happen very quickly. Then we can proceed. Installing camera driver. Okay, so let me finish and run this. Let me come back to here and let it open. So to use IV cam, make sure that your phone, whatever phone you have it on, and the laptop, the computer are connected to the same internet, to the same Wi-Fi. Like I have my computer connected to the same Wi-Fi as the phone. So very important. If not, it's not gonna work. Let me wait for the camera to open. Okay, so it's already open. Now I'll come to my phone and then open it as well. And then automatically it detects it. So this is it already. One thing you have to make sure you have on your phone is auto rotate set. Let me do that. Make sure that your auto rotate is not locked. Uh, so make sure it's off. What am I doing? Portrait orientation locked or no? Make sure that it's not on rotate for you to use this. So let's go back. All right, so this is it. Hit play. Let me zoom out completely. So this is where I'm doing this, and then that is it. Now let me bring it into the OBS. For me to do that, I have to come to here. Now I want to remove this camera, so I will just delete it. And by the way, these guys advert might show up, but just even though the advert is showing, like you can see, it's still working and still do whatever I want to do. Okay, here I'll click on plus and then select. There should be video capture device. This is it. We'll never skip this advert. Cancel this. Like I can see my screen. Okay, so video capture device. Let me call it IV Cam 1, just to for easy access. And then uh, I have mini cam. There are actually different cameras you can use. This is the IV cam, the E2E soft. So you select it, and then here we have my phone camera here already. And then this is it. So I'll just do F, Control F, full screen, and then there's this logo here. I will use zoom and here remove the logo. But this camera is up here, as you can see, it's covering everything. So I'll move it down, keep going down. I want it to be directly on top of the mixer. Yes, let the action stay on top of it. So this is it. Now for me to remove this logo, not really remove it, I just have to zoom this, drag it more, and then drag it up and remove it. So whosoever that is the camera mesh here aware that the topmost part of the camera is not visible. So this is me. So whatever I'm seeing here, whatever I'm figuring outside comes into the camera. Okay, so for all this, once all this is done, I'm okay. I can now go live. Let me just switch this. So to go live, you just click on start streaming. But before then, you need a stream key if you want to stream on Facebook. So to do that, you have to come here, click. Let me just put this camera in the stand so that I can use my both hands. Okay, I've put it on a stand and really easy to see what I'm doing. Okay, so to do that, I will have to come to my Chrome or whichever browser you're using, come to your Facebook and then select the Facebook you want to use. Now, this is the Facebook I want to use, the page, but use the page on your usual account, doesn't matter, a regular account. Go to the go live or live video. So I'll select live video. And then click on go live. We can actually do a test before going live if you want, but I prefer doing the test. I don't just want to go live and people see my testing. So I'll click on live. I'll do it again as it scroll down. Select this create a test proper before going live. I'll take it on by click on go live. Now there are two options here, webcam or streaming software. I'll use streaming software so that we can get the stream key. And that's a big settings I love doing. I prefer going to the advanced and turning persistent. This thing, turn it on persistence really key off. I kind of love turning it on so that the stream keys will not be changing every time. When I'll copy the stream key, once I copy it, I come back to my OBS and go to settings. So here in settings, I would come to stream and then make sure it's Facebook Live and select default. So here under stream key, you can paste it there. is a stream key. Once I pasted it, I click OK. I can now go here and click start streaming. I then let it connect. So once it's loading, I'll come back here and then wait for the video source to connect. So the video source has connected. So next thing to do is just to complete my post, which will be to do with the name and say tests or description tests. And then that will be all. So everything is done. So you can see the stream is here. I see some lagging ending on the PC you're using, but if everything is okay, that should be fine. And then I can click on start. The switch would have been go live had it been I selected a live phone, and that is it. So it's already going live. So this is how you stream live. Now for extra, I said bonus. I'm going to show you how you can also do the same thing going on Facebook. For that, you need to download something. I've already downloaded it. If I check under my docs, you're going to see multiple outputs. I think the main is, let's go and search for root issue. Just search for OBS multiple stream plugin. I've forgotten your name, something like RTMP or something like that. Kind of forgot the name, but yeah, that is it. RTMP, I'm correct. So you go here and you download it. Make sure it's the version of the OBS you are using that you are downloading. It should take you to one Chinese age like that. But why that is loading? You see your version of OBS, you should see it here. That should be under help, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, when it's streaming, it kind of takes a lot of CPU and check and see what it's consuming. So you are limited by the things you do with your PC. But again, if you have an high-end PC, they're not going to pass through all these issues. So you just check the version you are using. But I believe this is the latest version. This is version 3.0.1. So wherever you download, make sure you download the version here. So back at the page here, the multiple RTMP. Can go to download and then just follow the step. It's quite simple anyway to take you to GitHub at the releases and you select the one you want. As I said, it's usually in China. I think it's made by a Chinese person. So go download either of these. Let it finish loading. If you use it for Windows, you install for Windows. If you use it for Mac OS, you install for that. This is so I released in December 2004. So you can see this one should work for me. So I would download this. This is the one I would go for. The installer, just to make things easier for me other than taking the zip file. So once you're done downloading it, you double click on it, it will install. Then you restart your OBS. That will just be it. Then you're gonna see this option here. Now under my docs, I want to put this on the screen so that we do that very quickly. Still the same time, I would go to my YouTube. I have a lot of tabs completely close all this is I'm not using them. And only leave the Facebook that I'm using. So I'll go to YouTube and then set that up. But let me go to my dock here. I may have to stop this streaming since it's kind of limiting me from doing things I wanted to do. And I want to put this multiple. I want it to be active. Personally, I love keeping it here. Yeah, I kind of like keeping it here anyway. So once it's there, let me go back to YouTube and then click on live. So I'll click on create and click on go live. So for here, I will just okay. So once your life is already set up, two things we need here will be, apart from setting up the title of the stream and every other thing, two things we need here will be to copy the stream key and the stream URL. So let's first of all copy the stream key and go back to our OBS. I'll show you where to do this. I'm actually running both my screen recording app and this, so it's kind of hanging my PC. When you come here and click on add new targets, once you click on add new targets, and then this target, kind of rename the targets. You would have to bear with me now. We'll take it as slow as we can. So I'll call it to you. And then make sure the protocol is RTMP. That's okay. Every other thing is okay. So the stream key we collected earlier. So here is where we use it. So we come here and paste it and do Control V. Next thing we use later will be the URL. We'll come back to the Facebook. I'll copy the stream URL. And back here, I have to paste it here. Okay, which is okay. Now, this encoder, make sure you leave it from get from OBS. Everything should be get from OBS, which is okay, so that your system doesn't do double work on your PC. And then that is okay. Once you hit okay, and then you hit start, let this appear. So here you can see the YouTube. Once I click start, it automatically starts streaming on YouTube. You don't need to click again to go live. So once I go here and everything becomes okay, connecting to the streaming to go live. Once it's done connecting, it should go live automatically with sample 0. Very instant. It's already streaming. And like I said, I'm kind of doing some two streamers, if I may, with my PC. So it's kind of slowing it down. And again, this is not the PC I usually stream it, and it doesn't have the power to do that. Now, so this is practically how you do your streaming. I just wanted us to see the final work before we go. But the Facebook currently is live streaming now. It's already streaming. As you can see, it's already live. It's already streaming. So with whatever we put here, whatever we control here. So if you don't want to see the the ministers, we turn it off. It's gonna go off. We want to see this what messed here. Top page, I can turn it off, and then just fade this, and then it disappears. So whatever you want to do, you just take your time to move around it. I'm just trying to make sure the YouTube goes. But anyway, it's definitely will start very soon. My PC is just slowing down a little bit. So if you found this video helpful, to make sure to give me a thumbs up and give me a follow to help out the channel. If you love the kind of content I make, and then keep your notification turned on for more content like this. I'll be making more in-depth video on OBS, or if you have specific questions you want to ask, Or if you encounter any issues with OBS, you can also put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you out. Once again, my name is Stanley Chima, and thanks for watching the video.